welcome to Terra Cheese Paranormal Zone again, and I'm in the middle of a thunderstorm, so I'm going to put up my umbrella, but I'm going to talk to you anyway because the show must go on. Today I wanted to talk about something that one of my family members, actually my natural mother, had told me. And I had met my natural mother 2 or 3 times, maybe more than 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 or 5, 6 times throughout my life, but I didn't have a very close relationship with her. And I didn't know she was my natural mother to many years ago. Actually, many years later after I met her, and many years ago. In any case, what happened was she had come down to New Jersey once, and she took me to Philadelphia where she was living. And I was in her house, and we were having conversations, and we were talking. And she told me this one really interesting story. She's got a lot of old stories also, and it happened to her. She lives in a house that has a huge street, and then in front of that there was all this empty land and all this empty space and huge trees. So what happened was people bought over that land and they flattened all the trees except for a few large ones that was facing the street, that was near the street. And what happened was that they started digging up and they started clearing and they started flattening and they started building. And what they were building was a huge hospital over there. And the hospital was under construction, and there was a lot of noise, there was a lot of people, there was a lot of construction, so it's quite disruptive. And around that time she told me that she used to sleep sometimes in the living room. In the living room you can see it faces the window that faces that area of clear land and also the road. And so every single night she told me she would take every day actually, when she took a nap or she was laying around there and she was just about to fall asleep. She wasn't sleeping, she wasn't awake, but she was in that in-between state where she was about to fall asleep. And what happened was that she dreamt of an old man wearing pajamas, and she described it as an old Chinese looking man wearing pajamas, silk kind of pajama clothes, and he had long whiskers and he was pale and he was very stern looking. And he would come, he had a long goatee, and he would come and he would just take his finger and point at her and just shake like this at her, kind of like scolding her. He didn't say anything, he didn't talk, he didn't make any sound, but he used to come and take his index finger and just scold and scold and scold her like this. And my mother, it didn't happen once or twice, so it wasn't a dream. It kept happening every time she was on that sofa, or every time she fell asleep, about to fall asleep, and was in that in-between state. She see this old man with a goatee, pale, and wearing pajama-like clothes, very loose, coming to her and pointing his finger at her in a scolding manner. So it kind of became disturbing. She was kind of scared, I guess. And she consulted her family Buddhist priest. And the Buddhist priest at that time told her, actually, in that area, in the trees, in the environment, there lived a lot of different types of nature spirits and beings. And when the construction came and the noise came, it destroyed their habitat, it hurt their habitat, and it really ruined and uprooted their homes. So this being was living in that tree directly across her house. It was a huge tree, and I saw the tree. And he was coming to her to complain about how noisy it is and how he doesn't like what's happening and how disturbed he is and he can't rest inside the tree. Of course, my mother didn't know that, but when her family priest told her this, she kind of understood. But she says, okay, but I can't help him. I can't do anything for him because I didn't cut down the trees, I didn't buy the land, I don't own it. So what shall I do? And what was incredible was that the priest gave her a line drawing, and it was about slightly smaller than A4, something between 5 by 7 and 8 by 10, something between that. He gave her a line drawing of the female victorious Buddha, Namgyalma, who has 3 faces and 8 arms and 2 legs sitting in meditation posture, one hand having a threatening kind of gesture, mudra. One hand is holding a Buddha Amitabha, another one is holding a long life vase, another one's holding a bow and arrow and a lance, and another one granting accomplishments. And so she just said to her, put up this picture. And she put up this picture according to instructions, and it faced the tree and faced the window. And the minute she put up that picture, that old man never ever came and visited her again. She never had it happen. And I asked her, what's the name of the Buddha? Did he ask her to recite any mantras? Was there any prayers, any rituals? She said, no rituals at all. No mantras, no offerings, nothing. I just put up that picture on the wall, and this Buddha faced the tree. And then all the dreams and all these visitations completely stopped. And how she came to tell me that story is because when I visited her house in Philadelphia, I like Buddhas, and I saw this drawing, and I was like, wow, what is that? You know, why do you have it there? Because usually Mongolian people don't just hang Buddha pictures arbitrarily throughout the house. What they do is they have a really beautiful shrine room or shrine area on one area of the room where they set up and they put all their holy pictures and they put their sacred images there for worship because they respect it very much. It's very rare that you'll see a Kalmyk or Mongolian family just hang pictures everywhere. So that's why it intrigued me, and I asked her, hey, why is that picture there? And she told me this incredible story. And then years and years later, like 20 years later, when I went to the monasteries and I found out more about Namgyalma, when I found out about this deity and her short mantra, it's a very short mantra, and I found out that one of the qualities of this deity is to give us long life. Another quality of this deity is to destroy obstacles or fulfill wishes that are difficult to fulfill. It's like very difficult things that you need to accomplish, she can help you fulfill. And another one is that this Buddha called Namgyalma has her hand like this. And the hand is like this, meaning pushing back obstacles. And so what happens is that one of the features of this Buddha and Tantra is that when you're in her presence or you have her image, obstacles such as spirits and demons and black magic cannot obstruct you at all. So I found that kind of interesting. And while I'm sitting here or hanging out here in the rain, I thought I'd tell you that little story, and I thought that would kind of intrigue you because there are many methods to repel visitations or unwanted visitations. Now that old man that visited my mother did not mean any harm to her, did not want to disturb her or hurt her. He was just frustrated, he was just unhappy. He didn't have anyone to, inverted commas, talk to. So, but Namgyalma is very powerful for repelling disturbing spirits or entities that you don't want to visit your house or your place. And so we put up a picture of Namgyalma for those who are in this lineage. It's very, very helpful. But like I said, all religions and all people and all cultures have their own way of stopping unwanted visitations of the supernatural, paranormal type. I'm just sharing with you one way that I heard that my own natural mother told me. Have a good evening, and I think I'm going to go in now because, well, it's still raining, but it's not getting any harder. Thank you, bye.